Hey, I just want to give a shot at going live right now on YouTube, which I've never done. I'm going to trim this draft horse's foot and see how it goes. I got just a different situation than normal. Number one, it's wet. Yeah, like every other farrier, I'm like, yes, I'd love to be trimming this different spot today, but no biggie. Another situation is I've got a horse walking around this stall. It tends to provide a couple surprises every once in a while. See this big draft horse, but check him out real quick. I know that eye is absolutely beautiful, but he is blind on his right side completely and has shadows on the other side, so often he's in my space. That's okay today. I've done these guys 10 times like this. I always have a little surprise though, and I had this girl a friend tell me, she said, oh, you're not athletic, right? Because I'm not like running bases on a baseball field, but I'll tell you, I can duck and dodge like the best of them, and have run out of bad situations more times than not. I'm not afraid to run away from horses. So anyways, I'm gonna see if I can grab this back foot and do it for you. But I just want to, one of the things I just want you to see when I'm doing this is, this is all kind of cold, first time on, and at my job, taking care of a horse with, a live situation, cars driving by up on the road. I'm on a levee in the Delta in California, outside the Bay. I think it's the best way to say it. I think we're technically, some people may even consider us part of the Bay Area. We got these draft horses, and a lot of local people know them because they're big and beautiful and about 1,500 pounds. They're just doggone big animals. So anyways, I feel pretty confident to at least do a portion of the trim. But one of the things, I don't really have them tied real tight today. Number one, they're big, something 1,500 pounds. This thing could pull a car over if it wanted to. So what you're going to tie them to, if they panic, it's going to go, or the rope's going to break. Hopefully the rope broke, or the quick release lets go, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So those of us that have had a fence flying behind us, we just know better than to tie tight. So anyways, let's take a look. This is a rear end of a big horse. It is a draft horse. This is the type of horse that moves trees, right? Like in the forest. That's what they were used for years. They cleared a lot of the mountain up in Lake Tahoe for ski resorts back in the day. Just a really interesting animal. And this one, I've been doing for a while, but I got pretty off schedule with it. And I'm doing it. I know let me tell you, I already know the critiques from people. Oh, the owners would have, should clean the hoofs for you and all this kind of stuff. And that's, that's nice sometimes. But the truth is, I asked to come out today because, sometimes working alone is nice too, right? Like, I don't mind cleaning a foot or, working like that. But so this is if you haven't seen this before, it's really interesting. This is a hoof, and it's a big one, right? Hoof of a draft horse, a tree pulling gigantic animal. I'll just say it like that because it's true. It's always interesting. And like I said, working on an animal that's boy, this thing's way overdue. You're working on, let's say, live animals and kids are hard to work with, on film, but that's kind of what we're doing. And I'll do my best to talk to you about a hoof if you're interested, because it's quite an incredible mechanism that can work with an animal this big and carry it around and remain healthy. So this is interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do a pre-cleanup of this foot, and I kind of have to because there's parts that are, I'll just use the word out of whack right now and out of place, like these are called bars right here. They shouldn't be looking like that. They should be folded down on that foot, but they are not. This part back here is considered the frog. Yes, I know all the words and all the terms and all the science stuff that, hey, I love science, but sometimes that holds us back. Sometimes I just want to be able to say the outside of the hoof and the inside of the hoof, right? I don't need to go like medial, lateral. You don't need to know that. I just want to show you your foot because they're freaking neat. I've been doing this more than a minute of my life, and I enjoy it. And those of you that know a draft horse, that know I actually have the confidence to sit here like this, because if this thing pulled this foot different than, I guess, like a quarter horse or something like that, quarter horse will pull back and your body can take it. If a horse like this, if you have yourself locked in, it's the same as being in a car wreck, tell you the truth. Your muscles just can't resist. Like a quarter horse, a smaller horse, you can pull back like this and do this kind of business. But this kind of animal, if it rips his foot, whatever's located within this area is going that particular way, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do some pre-cleanup on it. You'll see here, like, these are bars. It's actually considered hoof right here. That's actually hoof wall, the exact same that's out here. So you see, I just kind of clean that up a little bit. It's just all pre-work. People that barefoot trimmers that are watching, you know, this is an extreme, this is overgrown, but they say, oh, that's the toe callus right there. But that toe callus is, you can see the inside of this thing. It's super deep and it's not where it needs to be. It's just kind of folded up in the wrong spot. So, like I said, I'm working on a live animal, so I'm having to do live animal stuff. I'm trying to get this as good as I can for you to see. So, got this. I'm actually going to take a lot of that toe callus out, but that's what's going to happen in the end, right? And this is the frog of the foot. To me, still one of the most important pieces, because this handles concussion, scent, traction, and it's a very jello-y, more like a piece of rubber, right? See this? The only difference between this frog that's the back of the hoof and this outer wall is the moisture level. That's pretty much it. I forget the thing. I want to say it's 70% more moisture than this. And farriers will tell you during the summer when we trim these, they're so darn hard. You're best off with a grinder at times or something similar, or just the sharpest knives on the planet, or just using your nippers. But see, I'll take my knife and I'm gonna clean this up. And right now people are like, oh, it's all fleshy. But look, that thing's just coming apart. It's been so long. It's overgrown. So I just clean this up. You see how deep the cleaning needs to be. See? Pretty interesting stuff. And I'll come to the back here. And I hope if you've seen this done before, you can at least respect that this is a live video. I'm having to, you know, kind of manipulate it toward the camera. And this is why. So this is a single-sided knife, and I use it here. This is a loop knife, and this is why I do not like the loop knives. The truth is, I'm not as good as on the left and right side with a single-bladed knife. So on that inside, I pull it because it just kind of, I would say you gum that thing up, you know. But my knives are pretty sharp. And we're moving, I think, because we're getting played with by this other horse up there. I don't know what's going on behind me, but something is. I got the frog partly cleaned up. What am I cleaning? I want all the things that are flip-floppity or bacteria can hide brought away. Because there's thrush, which horses suffer from, which is an oxygen-hating bacteria. And if it has a place to hide, that's where it goes. But you saw how that frog originally started. Now look how pretty this doggone thing is. Just beautiful. Get some of this stuff cleaned out. And I'll get a little bit more symmetric in a bit. But like I said, everything's working until you're finished. Gosh, not to get all like, is it Michelangelo-y, but you kind of got to see what's there and know where you're going, and worry about the final destination, not necessarily what's happening in the moment. But like, you know, for me, it was like open things up so I could see. Took those bars out so I could see. Remove the flaky parts of the frog. I've begun the process of straightening the bars, and I haven't really taken, you know, quote, my knife to the bottom of the foot yet. And so I'm going to want these heels back to the widest part back here of this frog. Now, if you see, those heels are high. So let's see what I can do here. I want you to see how high that was. Can you see that now? If you can, I want you to look at this direction. See how high that inside was and the outside over here? Way better now. Hope you can see it. I just took this completely out down to there as opposed to that other side. So what's that going to do? It's going to get your heel landing to the back of the hoof, over the heel bulbs, over the portion of the foot that is really the concussion part of the hoof, right? So, I told you everything's kind of pre-work. So now I'm taking that back some. You'll see. Now I'll start working with that frog just a little bit more because I want it completely functional. Reason for the frog is, got a lot of reasons, but one of them is traction, and you know, dirt actually helps the hoof on the inside. It actually acts as traction. So like this foot, see how smooth this is? You pack that with dirt, that dirt's going to act as traction on other dirt, right? And it hardens up in there, and if this helps it move out, kind of in and out, keeps the hoof clean of debris and whatnot. So it's interesting. So keep running this around. You got a helper. This little over helper. We're getting there. Like I said, nothing's done until it's done. But you can see I'm lower over here and higher over here. So I'll work that a little bit. Now I end up with those heels pretty much to the back of that, the widest part of the frog here. Truth is, I can just slide my rasp across that. And I still want to keep making the point when we're doing this on video is different than not. But what I do is I knife out some of this old sole, get us down. Actually doing pretty good right now. Oh, ho, 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 ho. About not taking out too much of that center. Apparently somebody needed a break. Because I'll tell you what I was doing probably. You know, I'm not saying horses tell time, but if that horse is telling time, he knows that I'm doing work that's way more time than it should be. Probably, you know, probably about 4 or 5. I'm done in less than 5 minutes per hoof, top and bottom. So, you know, really stretched out a little bit. I'll work this. So you see now, from beginning to end, that's what our hoof looks like, ish. But you can see this. See how thin it is here and how thick it is there? It's not really thicker as much as it is just the angle of the slice. That makes it, that looks like it's this thick. It's actually the same thickness. It's just cut at an angle. So one of the things I'll do is I'll do what they call a Mustang roll, right? You see this now? That's not the roll, but what it is, I'm taking out off these sharp edges of the hoof. And this is with my nippers, obviously, but this will come over with my rasp. And begin to get a nice roll. See, I'm not holding my rasp like this, I'm holding it like this. So I begin to roll that hoof so those edges don't break. And he can come over nice and easy. Like he rolls over on his foot. He doesn't tilt over it, he rolls over it. You begin to see that rounding I'm doing. And some people call that a Mustang roll. But then I'll include these quarters are dipped somewhat. This is the quarters. Anyways, that's my basics. Really the beginning of a trim today with the help of with the help of one blind horse apparently. A little bit more difficult, I guess, but I just thought you might get a kick out of seeing something like this. I hope you did. Anyways, that's the end of my video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll do more.